If you recently lost your job and your health coverage due to the COVID-19 pandemic and you think you may be eligible for Medicare, you probably have more questions than answers right now. Statewide Insurers Group, All Things Medicare, can help you with that. We can provide the guidance and the answers that you need to get the benefits you may be eligible for. Don't let this time of uncertainty jeopardize your eligibility for your Medicare benefits. Remember, relationships matter. Call Statewide Insurers Group today for the answers that you need now. 316-8166.
In the market for new or used guns, look no further than Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun. Whether you want to buy, sell, or trade, we got you covered. While you're here, check out our large selection of jewelry. We offer gold, silver, diamond, and beautiful estate jewelry. Looking for electronics? We have almost anything you can think of. We always carry new and used guns, so come here first and shop with a local business you can trust. Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun, serving you for over 25 years. 443-1668, 2552 Sunset Avenue, Rocky Mount.
And good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Where were you at?
Welcome back.
Yeah, you too. I missed you a couple weeks ago. I did.
Yeah, you did.
Without you, and I stumbled around trying to fill up the air.
Whoops.
Trying to fill up the air with a bunch of nonsense.
You can't do without me, don't you see? Well, I had to be out so you would see that.
Yeah, you're my nonsense.
You didn't appreciate me until then.
No, that's not true that I didn't appreciate you. I just, it's hard. It's hard.
I know you did.
It is extremely hard carrying the load when I don't know how to do TV.
Well, you know, it's hard to really sit up here by yourself because we're so used to tag teaming, you know,
well,
on the morning show.
You do a fine job on Thursday mornings, but you were kind of lit up today by yourself.
I've got to check my blood pressure when the show's over. No, I'm good. I am good. So glad to have you. We're going to do a year in review. Right,
long awaited because I promised people we were going to do it last week and then I forgot that we were off for Christmas. So here we are finally.
Yes.
Before we get into it though, I want to show folks two pictures of two cars that were spotted in the Castelia area yesterday. Here's a Dodge.
What do you mean two cars?
You'll see.
Okay, let's see.
This stuff is just happening right now, folks. But we want to try to get
This is the hot and now.
Right. Okay. There's a black Dodge Charger, right there, with black rims, and there's also a blue Honda Elantra with Florida tags. So these two cars were spotted in the Castelia area yesterday around 2:30. And the reason that we're showing these pictures is because somebody saw a picture I'm sorry. I just got a text message from the Journal. He said the show ain't streaming for some reason, so somebody figure that out. Anyway, law enforcement got a call about a fire yesterday in a field out between Nashville and Castalia on Highway 58. Mm-hmm. They responded. They found a fire, of course, and then they found someone's body had been in the fire.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so these 2 cars were spotted in the area. They're trying to find out who these people are, who these cars are, and what their level of involvement was in the situation. So
wow,
it looks like somebody was trying to destroy a body. So that's all we know.
So if it had Florida tags, now this is just me, just thinking, if it had Florida tags, then it could be a body brought in from somewhere. Well, might not even be one of our local people.
And Castalia is quickly becoming the body dump site because we had one a few weeks ago where someone had dumped a body out there.
Is word on the street that hey, just go down to Castalia and
So anyway, if anybody knows anything about that, give the hotline a call and try to figure out what
406-6736. Call. It is anonymous now. Right. It is anonymous.
The deputies say that they're just trying to figure out the level of involvement of these 2 vehicles and the people inside of them. So
wow.
all we know right now, they're not even sure how the gentleman died yet because of the situation with the body and all that stuff. But as the investigation goes, I just wanted to get those pictures out because it is pretty hard to hide a car. But we'll see.
Yes.
A launcher with blue launcher with Florida tags, figure like they could find it.
And you know what? If they're Florida tags, they could be around here or they could be long gone.
Right. All right. So on to the show. We've been together since June. We've been doing this. I took a little time off. We're still
talking.
Right. A little time off in October, but other than that, we've been running pretty strong since June. We've covered 24 cases. Now that's not to say that we haven't mentioned other cases, but these are the cases that
that's a lot of cases
that we provided information to people and whatnot.
And we've provided detailed information.
Right, absolutely.
On a lot of these cases.
And that's what that's what I wanted to do from the start. I didn't want to just simply give people a picture and a basic overview, like that.
We have to give information that will jog people's memory.
Right. And but that is what we are going to do today.
Yes.
We have so many of them.
Yes. So listen up, and it is anonymous. Please call. There's $15,000 in the kitty. So we did pay out. We have solved a crime. So, but it is anonymous. Call the hotline. You do not have to identify yourself. But it's important. If you know anything about any of these people that Lindell's going to talk about today.
Right. And usually I try to divide this up by segment or whatever, but we're just going to go because I don't know how many if we're even going to be able to finish today.
Yeah, we're going to have to roll a little bit today to get these in. So.
Absolutely. So we're going to start. Sandra's going to tell you the name and the age and the year that this person that we're going to talk about either died or went missing or was found. I think we've got one unidentified body in this list, so that would be the date they were found.
Right.
The rest of them would be either missing, and at this point, folks, if they're missing at this point, they're probably dead.
Right. Right.
Sad to say, but
that's right.
That's the nature of it. So what I did with these names was I picked all these at random. There's no
particular order.
Right, and there's no order of importance or some of these cases we detailed for weeks and weeks. Some of them we mentioned only once, but they're all getting equal shape today. Right. So like I said, Sandra's going to give you the name and their age and when they died or went missing. And then I'm going to tell you what we have brought to light here on the show.
Okay. First one is Sammy Sufan, age 47. He died March 2011.
Right. He was found shot dead at his food store on Old Wilson Road. He looked to be the victim of a botched robbery attempt. Persistent rumor is that he shot the person who shot him, but the police have never really been able to get to the bottom of that.
Right.
He was very loved in the neighborhood and known to a lot of people. So, you know, the neighborhood was hurting with this one.
If anybody knows anything, call the number.
Absolutely.
Okay, Karen Bosta.
Right.
Eatonton, age 39, May 2015.
Sorry about interrupting.
That's all right.
I got ahead of myself. She was, we talked about her when we were talking about the Linda Lawrence case.
Yes.
But, I mean, this is a case that, I mean, they've really solved it, but they just haven't arrested the guy yet, right? So she was at a Food Line. A week later, she was last seen at video footage at a Food Line in Edenton. A week later, her car was found parked at a shopping center. A friend of hers, Thomas Edward White Sr., is a person of interest in their disappearance. He used her credit card the day after she went missing. He's pled guilty to that, and that's where we're at. I don't know why they haven't moved forward with charges in that case.
Okay, Cheryl Denise Watson from Rocky Mount, age 25, died April 1991.
Right. Her partially nude body was found face down beside a tombstone in Pineview Cemetery.
Yeah, we talked about that one pretty much,
right.
A lot.
Her head had been smashed against a tombstone. She wasn't raped, but I think her attacker may have been scared off for some reason. I mean, it's pretty clear that the motive of the whole thing was rape, but he didn't get to it, but he did kill her. So, you know, I wrote about this case a few years ago. They have a really good suspect in this case. He's sitting in prison for a whole bunch of other rapes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, hopefully they can get somewhere with this one.
Okay, Clarence Earl Jenkins, Tarboro, age 48, missing March 2006.
Right. Sergeant Jenkins, Army vet, he checked himself out of Britt Haven Assisted Living Facility. It's on Western Boulevard there in Tarboro. He left on foot. He was seen walking around all day. It was like 20 people seen him that day walking around, talked to him and everything, including the Tarboro police officer. But by the end of the day, nobody knew where he was at. He was scheduled to have a dialysis the next day or the day after, and he just never showed up. So nobody knows where he's at to this day.
Yeah, and we talked about that one pretty much too. I think we talked about that one with Muse.
It was Veterans. We did that one on Veterans Day.
On Veterans Day, that's right. Yeah, we did.
Because he like I said, I mean, he was an Army sergeant who deserves a whole lot more than just dropping off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Linda Lawrence, boy, did we talk about that one. Rocky Mount, age 45, missing June 1996.
Linda had a drug problem. She was supposedly last seen leaving the High Meadows swimming pool at 8:30 p.m. on June 13th, 1996. The Ford truck that she was driving was found wiped clean. Her roommate was in a relationship with the Rocky Mount Police Department official, so you know we did talk about that for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yes, we
did. Hopefully somebody that knows where Linda's at can come forward, because her family just wants to get her burial taken care of at this point.
Her mother's kind of elderly, and she would like to get closer
absolutely.
before she passes
Absolutely.
away, hopefully. Dylan West, Fayetteville, age 23, missing March 2005.
Yeah, he failed to show up for first formation, and he was due to be honorably discharged in a couple weeks, so there would be no reason for him to run off. You know, on April 1st of 2005, his vehicle was found abandoned on Interstate 25 in Colorado, but Dylan is from Georgia, so I don't know what his vehicle was doing out in Colorado. He might be dead, he might be AWOL, you know, I mean, we don't know. It's just, to me, it's one of those cases, one of those military cases where a lot of military people go missing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like something could be done.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, there's so many reasons. You know, I worked at Camp Lejeune for years. I covered military down there for years and years. And military towns are just transient in nature. There's a lot of people coming and going. And there's a lot of people leaving the military. You know, like I said, they go AWOL. They get themselves young, you know, especially Marines at Camp Lejeune, soldiers at Fort Bragg. They never call a Marine a soldier. They'll get really angry with you about it. They tend to get into trouble, especially at a young age, and then before you know it, they're just gone.
Yeah. Carl Butler, we certainly talked about this one a lot. Carl Butler, Rocky Mount, age 56, missing February 2005. Yeah,
that was one of the first cases that we talked about. I was going to try to make a casework out of that, but the case got really complicated really quickly. He left his home on Marley Drive at 5 a.m. for unknown reasons. The family says they don't know why he left. He was last seen at 6 a.m. by an off-duty police officer at Meadowbrook and Vernon Roads. He was walking down the street. So he had serious medical problems. He had just had an operation. I mean, he had some serious life-threatening medical problems. He also had an outstanding warrant up in Washington, D.C. when he vanished, right? So after we talked about Mr. Butler on the show, we found out that authorities really don't agree with what happened to him. Some of them seem to think that his body's there in that neighborhood somewhere, and we're going to find it one day. Other law enforcement people think he took off and started a new life. So, you know, he's either like all these long-term mission people, he's either dead or he doesn't want to be found.
He doesn't want to be found. So that's right.
That's Mr. Butler.
Hoy Jefferson Cobb, Jeff Cobb, Rocky Mount, age 75, November 2014.
Sure. Mr. Cobb, he's a former county commissioner. He served on the Board of Education. He served on the hospital board. You know, he had done a lot in his life. He was found stabbed in his home more than 60 times. Mr. Cobb had a lot of alcohol in his system when he died. He had an open pack of condoms on the bedside table and a woman's hair dye found on the floor of the bedroom. They've sent that hair dye, hair tie, I said hair dye, hair tie. You know, to clamp your hair back.
Right.
My wife calls him a rooster controller because she said without him her hair looks like a rooster. Anyway, they found DNA in that hair tie and they've sent it off, you know, but DNA works. You have to have a match in the database for it to work, or they can match it to suspects if they get enough evidence to do that.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with that case. I mean, it's when I talked to the police about this a few years ago, the one guy told me that it was one of Rocky Mount's few actual whodunits. So they don't, it's a mystery who did this.
Well, it was one of our most high-profile cases so far because he was so well known in the community. I mean, you don't hear very many people that don't really know or haven't heard of Jeff Cobb.
And if you shop at Walmart here in town, you've been touched by his family anyway because they developed that whole shopping center over there. They call it Cobb's Corners.
Cobb's Corners, that's right. Leroy William Dunston, Rocky Mount, age 44, dead December 2017.
Yeah, remember we got a call on our very first show about Mr. Dunston.
Yes.
Asking us to look into that. So we did that, and he was playing cards at a house across the street from his Gay Street home, and he was found dead in the driver's seat of his car with his left foot outside, like as he was getting into the car. And he received 4 gunshot wounds in the torso and 2 in the leg. So that's all 6 shots out of a revolver, or or we don't know.
And we believe that he might have been shot outside the car trying to get, and he was trying to make it to get in the car.
Yes, and the family, they said there's no damage to the car.
Right.
But law enforcement tells me that there's damage on the inside.
Inside,
right. So we don't, we don't know exactly what happened, but he was playing cards. He won some money, and he didn't quite make it.
Right.
Where he was going. So. Probably the folks that were at the card game that night would be
sore losers.
Yeah, exactly.
Sore losers.
So wow, we've got through 9 of them.
Yeah, we have. We've moved right along, but we do have to go to break.
Yeah.
We'll come right back.
If you recently lost your job and your health coverage due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and you think you may be eligible for Medicare, you probably have more questions than answers right now. Statewide Insurers Group, All Things Medicare, can help you with that. We can provide the guidance and the answers that you need to get the benefits you may be eligible for. Don't let this time of uncertainty jeopardize your eligibility for your Medicare benefits. Remember, relationships matter. Call Statewide Insurers Group today for the answers that you need now. 316-8166.
In the market for new or used guns, look no further than Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun. Whether you want to buy, sell, or trade, we got you covered. While you're here, check out our large selection of jewelry. We offer gold, silver, diamond, and beautiful estate jewelry. Looking for electronics? We have almost anything you can think of. We always carry new and used guns, so come here first and shop with a local business you can trust. Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun, serving you for over 25 years. 443-1668, 2552 Sunset Avenue, Rocky Mount.
And welcome back. Oh,
You get coffee?
I heated what I had. I had coffee. I heated it up.
Where's the coffee from?
There's nothing. Today it's from Hardee's. I stopped at Krispy Kreme, and their equipment was broke.
Oh no!
And I don't get donuts, but I get coffee. I love their coffee. And they didn't have nothing. They said, we're just closed.
I don't drink coffee. In the Navy,
it's really good for the soul.
In the Navy, we used to eat coffee grinds.
Oh God!
When the engine goes, I was an engineer in the Navy, and when the engine goes down, you work till the engine is fixed. So
Well, I eat them sometimes when I got the last cup in the pot.
I've been awake 96 hours before. 96 hours. I mean, that's like that's a lot of days. Anyway, we used to get so tired that we would eat handfuls of coffee grinds to stay awake, and we would have people that would blow air. They had like a thing coming down from the ceiling of the boat in the engine room, and they would hold air on us to blow cool air on us to keep us awake while we were working.
You don't want to be around me if I've been up 96 hours. No, you don't.
I don't hardly want to be right now. That's a stupid joke. All right, so.
Okay, so we're on number 10.
Number 10.
Travis Lynch. We have brought in the Sheriff's Department and everything else to talk about this one.
And I wrote about this case for 35 straight weeks in the Enterprise.
You sure did. You're to be commended for keeping on that. I mean, you just kept on and on and on.
It's a case that it gets under my skin because you know, he's missing, his car's missing. I mean, this, you know. All right. Travis Lynch missing Christmas Eve.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm not awake from this coffee, apparently. Middlesex, age 21, sad, 21 years old. Christmas Eve 2003 is when he went missing.
Yeah.
Golly.
17 years ago. All right. So his girlfriend claims that he left her house and hasn't been seen again.
And did not pass the polygraph test, may I say.
But investigators believe that Travis never left her house alive. They've looked for his Pontiac Grand Am for years. They've employed all kind of special techniques and tools borrowed from state and everywhere else to try to find where that car is. Her girlfriend and her uncle have been suspects from the very beginning. They had a family member who ran a salvage yard in that area at the time. He's since passed away. But I mean, you know, it's pretty clear what happened here, you know. So I just wish somebody in that community, someone in that crowd that they run with would crack and give us, you know,
well, you know, if he
on.
run a salvage yard, he had to have had employees. Right,
exactly.
Where's that employee that maybe used to work there? You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people know. And they've received a lot of information, and they received information after we started what we do.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of getting the right, you know, that final piece. So
406-6736, folks. If you know anything about these cases, it is anonymous. You do not have to tell us who you are, and we do pay out not upon conviction, but upon arrest. So that's the good thing. Okay, Stephen McCrae, Edgecombe County, age 63, missing January 3rd, 2020.
Right. He was reported missing. There was no sign of him, but his daughter has been accused and arrested for using his debit card multiple times after he disappeared. She's been charged with financial card theft. identity theft and 2 counts of obtaining property by false pretense.
I wonder why they just can't pin her.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Karen Bosta case a lot. You know, there's a lot of similarities there that, you know, when you've got someone who's dead, or excuse me, someone who's missing.
Yes.
And someone else is using their credit card.
Yes.
You know, got to get the evidence though, but it seems
pretty
clear to me.
Yes, absolutely. Daquan Dickens, Rocky Mount, age 18. He died July 2019, another recent case.
Yeah, shot through the heart. He was at a birthday party. Someone shot him through the Long Avenue house. We talked about how he was a high school graduate that was working at Burger King, had a future ahead of him. One of these random bullets comes through the house, hits him, goes right through his Burger King name tag.
Why did I think this was on Arlington Street?
That's the Orlando Flowers case that we'll get to. Yeah. So you know, his nickname was Newt, and the same nickname that his uncle Dexter Johnson had, and Dexter Johnson was a victim of an unsolved homicide from back in 2006. Someone robbed him outside of a convenience store and shot him to death. So, I mean, these are tragic stories that, you know, we had Amelia Harper with a telegram on here talking about shooting into unoccupied buildings. I mean, shooting into occupied buildings, and, you know, why it's important that they enforce that kind of stuff.
That's right. Tammy Grady, Wilson case, age 34, missing November 2019, another recent case. Yeah,
somebody online, I posted some of these online leading up to promoting the show, and somebody caught that instead of missing there, I had put dead. And, you know, someone had asked me, you know, well, she's missing, why? And because the sad truth is, and her family knows this, is, I mean, Tammy's dead. And, you know, only her body's missing because she's long gone. And, you know, her sister reported her missing after she hadn't checked in a few days. Cops traced her down to the Harley Wilson Hotel, getting into a taxi. And the cabbie admits to picking Tammy up, but he claims he don't remember where he dropped her off at. I mean, that's, you know.
That's what really gets me in my mind. That's
hogwash. A suspect, you know, we were just talking about the Travis Lynch case with the salvage yard and all that, right? This is something that we haven't said on the show before, but this is known to be true. A suspect in the case, right, got his car crushed not long after cops started asking about Tammy Grady. So again, you know, that guy, I tell you what, that guy probably did it. If you don't like me saying that he can sue me, and then we can put it all in court.
Well, we can,
and we can have it all out in the court. You know.
Well, we can surmise, you know, what we want to.
Absolutely, I surmise that guy killed Tammy Grady, and it's just a matter of the law enforcement getting the evidence together. He's welcome to file a defamation suit against me personally, and we can go to court and we can put all that information out for the public to see.
This is a talk show.
Yeah.
FCC says so, and we can have opinions.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what they tell us. Okay, number 14, Orlando Flowers.
There you go. That's that Orange.
That's the one on Orange Street. Right. I got it mixed up. Yes. Rocky Mount, died February 2017, age 45.
Right. He was watching the Super Bowl at his friend's house on Arlington Street. And as soon as the game was over, he came outside and shot several times. This case too, he was involved in a love triangle, and the guy that was in the third part of the love triangle, right? He had threatened or assaulted Orlando 3 times in the weeks leading up to his death, and law enforcement knows that this guy borrowed a friend's car on the afternoon that Orlando was murdered. And in the affidavit attached to the search warrant, it says that you know, oftentimes when someone wants to commit a crime, they borrow someone else's vehicle.
Right.
You know, so this is another one of those things where it's circumstantial, but it's strong. Yes. It's a strong circumstantial case to me. So hopefully they can get what they need to wrap that one up too.
The moral of the story is watch those love triangles.
Yeah, absolutely.
15.
There's only 2 reasons people kill people: love and money. And that's, you know,
You're right.
That's pretty much it.
That's right. Dalvin Redmond, Kanita, age 30, October 25th, 2018.
this one's going to be really short because cops don't have a lot, deputies, I should say, don't have a lot to go on. Dalvin was found dead in a field on Ellis Road, not far from where he lived. He had been shot multiple times. That's about as far as we get in that one. Yep.
Yeah. Randy Colgrave, boy, have we heard about this one from Jeff Sherrod coming in and talking in detail. Nashville, died October 2017, age 53.
Yeah, he was killed by an intruder during a home invasion. Sherrod said that Colgrove might have known who his killer was. You know, still a home invasion, but he might have, you know, someone was in his house and liked what they saw and came back and to steal it. He said that they were close to solving this case when he was on the air. Did. So he said they need one more piece of evidence. So I wish people would give a call.
And somebody out there knows that piece.
Yep, absolutely.
And call that number. Call that hotline number, please, if you know anything. Katie Lopez, Wallace, North Carolina. August 2006, age 5. That is so sad.
Yeah, I put I've got a Facebook page. I don't really like Facebook or whatever. I checked out of social media. The nature of my job, a lot of people hate me, so it's just social media is a nightmare for me. So anyway, my folks suggested that I start a Facebook page to promote this show, so I did that. I also just put random cases I worked on over the years, and I put this on here, and it's the most viewed page. I mean, it's got over 100,000 page views for this one case, because I mean, the poor girl, I mean, she's just so beautiful, and I've talked to her family before, you know, that she was just such a radiant child, you know, and so she's sitting on the living room floor of her mobile home drawing pictures, and two guys rip open the screen door and just start shooting everybody. Her dad tried to shield her. He picked her up and tried to run out the back door with her. He got shot in the head, in the hands, and the arm. He got out back. The two gunmen leave because they realize they're at the wrong house. They're not even at the house that they meant to shoot everybody at.
Right.
And Katie had been hit in the head while the dad was trying to take her out the back door. So she died there at the scene. The suspects are described as two black males, ages 20 to 25. Now that was back in 2006, so they're older now. They would be about 34 to 39 now.
Right.
So, you know, we need to get this one taken care of.
I think we had a call.
We do? We did?
We did. Hello? Okay. Call back if you would. We were in the middle of, 18, Jane Doe girl.
Yeah.
Wow. Roanoke Rapids.
You'll remember her as soon as I start talking about her.
Age around four, Christmas 1983.
Yeah, she was found by hunters. You know, a lot of these unidentified people are always found on Thanksgiving or Christmas because that's when hunters are out doing their thing. That's the call. You want to?
Listen. Good morning. Hello?
Well, good morning. I'm glad to see you on the show.
Yes. Good morning.
How are you doing? This is Gordon Gray.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, I say glad to see you on the show because this allows the phone to get used. Otherwise, Lindell's busy going down his list of shows and capture. So first of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
I won't see you guys again till next year.
That's right. I would say that's sad, but that's only one day, so.
Well, don't you know, everybody's waving fondly at 2020 to say goodbye.
They sure are.
Yeah,
I am.
I'd like to put it behind me. That's for sure. I do want to share one comment. You probably just told. We're hoping that everybody that the show will get some people to come forward.
Yes.
And unfortunately, anybody that just watched the show the last 15 minutes, they can't be jurors because we've got a little too strong on that last case because we've accused him. And
well, General, I don't pick jurors, and they can always move the venue if they think that it's been covered too much. I mean, my job is to put information out. They've had years to do something with these cases.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I don't, you know, I'm trying to get the information now. I mean, the court system can deal with that. And plus, you know, they may not have been watching the show.
That's true. But your analysis is a good pathway down there, but you almost don't even need to say anything, except you could do just what you've done, is walk that dog and just show, you know, because that is strong circumstance. I'll be very candid. You know,
Right.
a car getting, because
Well,
I don't know anyone, period, who's ever had their car crushed. I mean, you might have sold it, but I've never had it crushed.
oh, I'll bet you there's a lot of them out there that that they can't find those cars over the years. I guarantee you that's what happened. I'll just about guarantee you. But I've heard it before. But
usually, the DNA doesn't go away though. Even if it's crunched, the DNA doesn't go away. That's a good thing. You just can't get inside the car real clean.
right. Well, they're hollering at me to go to break. So we appreciate your call.
Keep me on my toes, General.
Just go with this. You had a great Christmas. Now you're gonna have an even better New Year.
That's right, we
Everybody
are.
out there.
That's
Everybody
right.
out there, and you two guys.
Thank you.
Keep attacking. Keep us straight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Appreciate it.
You too.
Bye-bye. Okay, and with that, we got to go to break, and we will finish up with our year in review right after this.
If you recently lost your job and your health coverage due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and you think you may be eligible for Medicare, you probably have more questions than answers right now. Statewide Insurers Group, All Things Medicare, can help you with that. We can provide the guidance and the answers that you need to get the benefits you may be eligible for. Don't let this time of uncertainty jeopardize your eligibility for your Medicare benefits. Remember, relationships matter. Call Statewide Insurers Group today for the answers that you need now. 316-8166.
In the market for new or used guns, look no further than Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun. Whether you want to buy, sell, or trade, we got you covered. While you're here, check out our large selection of jewelry. We offer gold, silver, diamond, and beautiful estate jewelry. Looking for electronics? We have almost anything you can think of. We always carry new and used guns, so come here first and shop with a local business you can trust. Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun, serving you for over 25 years. 443-1668, 2552 Sunset Avenue, Rocky Mount.
Okay, let's see where we are.
We have to start over with
Jane Doe Girl?
Yes, Jane Doe.
Okay, Jane Doe Girl. Roanoke Rapids, around 40 years old, and Christmas 1983.
Right. This is the skull of a young girl that was found 3 decades ago. They still don't know who she is. They know that she was biracial, black and white. She had signs of serious child abuse throughout her young life before her violent death.
Awful.
And fingerprints aren't available, but dental chart and DNA has been submitted to all of the national databases. Remember, this was a case where we talked about how they used DNA to know that she had been in Florida.
Yes, I remember it now.
So yeah, so I mean, it's really amazing all the things that they can do with DNA now. So hopefully that can lead to something. And I speculated on the show before. I mean, this was family who did this.
Yes.
You know, because and the general called in and brought up a really good point about it being maybe a foster family. You know, so
That's right. I remember that. Absolutely.
There's definitely a familiar aspect of this case, because otherwise, where's the family screaming, "Where's my 4-year-old daughter at?"
That's
you know?
right.
So
Exactly.
hopefully we can figure that one out.
Keenan Mercer, Rocky Mount, age 21, died September 2017.
Yeah, this was the first case that the PD came on the show and did. Lieutenant Seifman came on and talked about this one.
Yes.
This guy's riding his bicycle to get gas, to mow lawns, to buy clothes for a new job. And a guy that law enforcement says he's unknown. I think maybe they know who he is. They're just trying to get more information. I'm not entirely sure, but he had some words with Keenan and he shot him. And Seifman brought in photos of the crime scene with the bicycle and all that stuff. So, you know, a police officer on patrol heard the shots and responded and found Keenan's body. So the cops doing a good job that day on the ball. Hopefully, you know, I'd like to see this one solved for Keenan's family. I've talked to some of them. I mean, it's you know, really sad case. Guy trying to get his life together and get shot before it gets done.
Right. Denise Williams, Edgecombe County, age 21, June 2003.
Yes, this was, Denise was publicly linked to the Seven Bridges Road case, although she had nothing to do with that. But back then when it was, families had struggled so hard to get law enforcement and everybody to recognize what was going on that when the dam finally broke, that they just threw everybody, every murdered or missing woman in the neighborhood into that case. But she was actually found dead about 4 years before Mr. Pittman even got started.
Oh, really?
Right, yeah. So, I mean, this was a case that was just kind of drug in. Her drug dealing boyfriend dumped her in the water after she overdosed. And the sad thing is that she was still alive. So the autopsy says that she drowned, right? So, you know, they thought, oh no, she's overdosed. Let's, you know, what are we going to do? We could bring her to the hospital and get her medical treatment, or we could just throw her in the river. So they throwed her in the swamp. I mean, and
wow.
So you know, already used this line before, but I mean, you know, her boyfriend killed her. If he don't like it, he can sue me and we can talk about it in court. I mean, he's not going to do that though, because he knows he did it, and the cops know he did it, and there's been a extensive investigation into this situation, but for some reason we just haven't got to the prosecution.
It's so sad that sometimes we just can't get, the police cannot get the evidence, just the last nail in the coffin they just can't get.
That's true. Sometimes, well, and that is absolutely true, but then sometimes they do have that evidence and the prosecutors don't want to
go we know, we've talked about that too.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Renee Durham, Edgecombe County, age 46, missing June 2007.
Now, Renee is, I believe, one of the victims of the Seven Bridges Road killer. She disappeared at the exact same time that all the other women did. She just hasn't been found yet. I mean, they had the National Guard out there on Seven Bridges Road looking for her. You know, they've looked for her a lot. So wherever she's at, she's just hidden good. She was last seen, she left her home on Harper Street on the afternoon of June 17th, 2007. She fits the victimology. She's the right color, the right age. She was trapped in drugs and prostitution, you know, so, and her disappearance fits the time frame that Antoine Pittman was active. So I think she's somewhere out on Seven Bridges Road. They just haven't found her yet. But on Thanksgiving or Christmas, at some point, some hunter's going to be out there and stumble across a body. And, you know, we'll eventually realize that it's her.
Philip Lee Willoughby, Jr., Middlesex, age 46, November 28, 2020. Very recent.
Yeah, this is a new case that we have not talked about. It just happened a few weeks ago. I wrote about it for the Enterprise last week. Willoughby's body was found on North Carolina 231 outside of Middlesex. And what happened was the police got a call that there was a guy sleeping in his car at the Dollar General in Middlesex. So the police went there, and Mr. Willoughby was there asleep in his car. They talked to him. He was not intoxicated. There was no sign of any kind of drug use or alcohol use whatsoever. He just was sleeping in his car. But the problem was he didn't have a driver's license. So you can't drive away. They can't, I mean, he's on private property. I mean, I talked to the police chief down there a lot about this case. He's on private property, so you can't you know, you cops have to see him driving the car to
Right.
arrest him for not having a driver's license.
Right.
So he's on private property. So he calls his brother or his brother-in-law, I think it's his brother-in-law, and the cops hear the conversation he's got on speakerphone, and they say, okay, we're coming to pick you up. Right? Now there's no alcohol involved, there's no crime being committed for him just being there.
Right.
So the cop that was responding to this call had something else to do, so he left, just like they would in any circumstance. But then the next morning, apparently, I don't know what happened between the call that he's going to get picked up and he didn't get picked up, I don't know, but he's found dead on the side of the road between between Dollar General and his house.
Oh, wow.
So he's walking home and something happens to him.
So he didn't get hit by the car?
Well, we don't know. The state troopers.
They should be able to know that.
Yeah, the highway patrol was investigating it, but they said there was no obvious sign of that. So they don't really know what happened, and I'm sure they know a lot more than what they've told me.
Sounds like nobody came to pick him up, so he started walking.
So he started walking, and then something bad happened to him, whether he got hit by a car or whatever. So anyway, they're in the very early stages of that investigation too. The highway patrol is conducting it because he was found, on a highway or whatnot. But as more information comes out with this case, I will provide more information.
Devontae Burton, age 24, and these two are together, Montrell Wilson, age 37.
Yeah, boy, this is a bad one. These two guys are at a big party at an illegal bar on East Lashley Street.
And this is very recent, June 20th, 2020. Sorry,
absolutely.
interrupt you, but that's very...
Absolutely. Lieutenant Muse talked about this case a little bit when he was here. Lieutenant Muse with the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office, and also a member of the Team Cold Case board.
Yes.
So there's dozens of people here at this illegal bar, and I mean by illegal bar, it's someone's house serving liquor or whatever. It might have been an empty whatever it was. It could have been a field for all I know. They're serving alcohol at this place. There's a lot of different motorcycle gangs involved there, partying and everything. Somebody started shooting, right? I don't even know that these two gentlemen, Devontae and Montrell, I don't even know, the cops may know, but I don't know whether they were even the targets of this whole thing.
Wow.
Just that they got shot. 4 people got shot. 2 of them died. That was Devontae and Montrell. The other one went to the hospital, and then one of them refused treatment and left on his own.
Wow.
Dozens and dozens of people there. No one saw a thing. They can't get a single witness out of the dozens and dozens of people that were there.
Somebody definitely knows something.
Sure, and you could say, oh, they might be afraid to come forward, but we have anonymous phone numbers. There's Crime Stoppers. There's the Team Cold Case number. They could just call the cops directly. They could provide information. They could get a reward for that information. I think, though, what this is not fear of retribution. I think this is just the criminal element not wanting to get involved with law enforcement. You got dozens of people. I've heard up to 60 people at this thing, and 2 people dead. Two of their compatriots dead, and nobody will say anything.
But it doesn't matter if you're, afraid of law enforcement or whatever. They're not going to know who you are.
Right.
They're not going to know who you are.
Yeah, that is the importance of what we've established here. As we are under the umbrella of the Team Cold Case people, and they've established a reward system that you do not have to. Law enforcement, as a matter of fact, law enforcement can't know who you are. Not only do they not know who you are, the system is set up to where they will never know who you are. And
we definitely pay out. We've already paid someone on a case that was solved. Already paid within a few days.
Yeah, we had an email.
Incredible.
We had an email meeting. We had already met via the, I don't know what it is, all those, I hate those meetings.
Yeah. Our board meeting, our Zoom
Skype
meeting,
or Zoom, whatever
Zoom
it is.
meeting, We met.
I hate meeting over the. I mean,
I know.
the world we live in now.
We like in person.
Well, I mean, I'm going to school at ECU as well, and I have to.
You're Zooming that?
Yeah, and it just I hate all
better
that.
be glad
But
you're
anyway,
doing that.
we had the meeting, and then it was brought up in the meeting.
Yeah.
And we had an email meeting within a couple of days, and we paid out within.
Everybody voted on how much money.
Days. Right.
The board voted, and
so I mean the system works, and it was proven a lot sooner than what I thought it would be proven,
Yes.
folks. So
and we want to solve some of these crimes. I mean, look at all these crimes that we've got outstanding, and there's more.
And that's just a drop in the bucket.
It is more to come in 2021. We've got some really interesting cases coming up.
Absolutely, there's a lot. I mean, we haven't even really scratched the surface yet. There's a lot of cases. I've been impressed with the commitment and the help of the Rocky Mount Police Department.
Yes.
They have Captain Staten and Lieutenant Seifman have provided us with crime scene photos and never before
great response from
published information. You know, so they're doing a great job with that. Lieutenant Muse. Very candid individual. You know, he's been on the show.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, and then you know Jeff Sherrard with the
Misty Strickland Kane.
Right, that's right. And you've known Jeff for a long time.
Yeah, I have, and Misty is great too. And
I'm gonna tell this story really quick. I was here a couple weeks ago, filming footage for projects that we're working on that we'll talk about later. You know, when we got a new thing we're going to talk about in a few weeks, whenever the time's appropriate. But anyway, I was in Rocky Mount filming stuff, and I saw a whole bunch of cop cars at a house on Vine Street. You know, so I was just passing through. I saw it. I mean, you know, you see that many police vehicles, you stop, and I stop, and I'm just taking pictures. And it was a joint operation between the police department and the sheriff's office. So they see a crazy looking guy over there taking pictures, you know, and naturally they're going to ask what I'm doing there. Right. So they were real polite. 2 deputies came up and asked, you know, hey, what are you doing here? And I told them who I was. And they understood that I had the constitutional right to be there and take pictures, right. So they didn't have a problem with that. But what's funny about it is I'm taking all these pictures, and then someone walks out the front door of the house, and it's Jeff Sherrard with all his gear on and everything. And it's like, you know, I mean, people say that he has the reputation for being involved in everything.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw that day. I sent that picture to him. You know, I know other jurisdictions that I worked in, people were obsessed with how I found out the stuff I found out. So I would have sheriffs confiscating deputy cell phones to figure out who told me what. So I was I had one of my sons with me, and I was telling them it'd be funny if they're trying to figure out how I knew to be there when I just was driving by.
Right.
So anyway, I think we got a great group of people together on this.
We do.
It came together quickly.
It did.
A
great board and great show here, and then you have been to crime scene. We have another show that's coming on starting this week. It's going to be on the schedule starting this week.
Wow, well, I thought you
well, we got to get it out there.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, then, can I talk about it for 1 second?
Yeah, you need to tell everybody what you've done.
I've been around to multiple crime scenes here in Rocky Mount, and what we have done is we've got a second show.
In addition to this one.
In addition to this one, that's how math works. Second show would mean.
Well, I'm just.
Okay.
You know, making
so
sure.
I'm giving you a hard time. So we got a second show that is called From the K-Files, and what we've done is we've spent time on location at these places. And on location is a little different. I mean, it's good to see. People like to see crime scenes. I stood out in the freezing rain on Arlington Street.
Oh, that's dedicated.
One morning, talking about the Orlando Flowers case.
Wow.
So we took the crime scene location information. We put it together with some pictures and stuff that hasn't been shown before, and then we took some of our conversations and interviews and stuff that we've done here on the show and put it all together for a 30-minute show that folks can watch on WHIG.
Yes.
And we ain't gonna put it on YouTube.
No, you got to watch
folks,
it.
You gotta
right
watch.
here.
You got to watch TV to watch this.
Yes, you do.
And what it does is it concentrates it brings to bear every bit of information that we have on a particular case.
Wow.
And so some examples, we've done the Jeff Cobb case, I mentioned Orlando Flowers, we did Linda Lawrence case. So I mean, it's every bit of information that we have,
Right.
along with some new stuff, and it's compacted, and it's you know, all there for folks
Right.
to look at, and hopefully we'll be doing a lot more of these. And you know, it's all about trying to help solve some of these cases.
I said in 2021 we're going to solve some crimes. It's 9
Yep.
o'clock. We got to go. But yeah, this is an additional show. Thank you, Lindell, for doing that, and we'll be watching for that. We'll let you know when it's coming on, and we'll see you next week on the K-Files.
Yep, yep.
If you recently lost your job and your health coverage due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and you think you may be eligible for Medicare, you probably have more questions than answers right now. Statewide Insurers Group, All Things Medicare, can help you with that. We can provide the guidance and the answers that you need to get the benefits you may be eligible for. Don't let this time of uncertainty jeopardize your eligibility for your Medicare benefits. Remember, relationships matter. Call Statewide Insurers Group today for the answers that you need now. 316-8166.
In the market for new or used guns, look no further than Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun. Whether you want to buy, sell, or trade, we got you covered. While you're here, check out our large selection of jewelry. We offer gold, silver, diamond, and beautiful estate jewelry. Looking for electronics? We have almost anything you can think of. We always carry new and used guns, so come here first and shop with a local business you can trust. Carolina Jewelry Pawn and Gun, serving you for over 25 years. 443-1668, 2552 Sunset Avenue, Rocky Mount.